What up, YouTube? Mandy Hops here, coming at you from the beautiful Viva Las Vegas 702. Today we're going to talk to you about Chi-Town. We're going to talk to you about St. Louis, Vegas, and we're going to talk to you about pizza in general. So, pizza is a very personal thing to everybody. Y'all might joke, but it is. And St. Louis people take their St. Louis style pizza very personally. St. Louis is the fourth fattest city in the United States, last time I checked, because our food is so good. Honestly, do I miss my family? No. Do I miss the food? Yes. Fact. So, I work at a pizza place. We sell New York slices. On the strip, $9 a slice. Is it worth it on the strip? I would say, yeah. That's a good deal. You're getting a slice this big, you know? Go to Haagen-Dazs where I worked. You're going to get a scoop of ice cream like that for $9, and that doesn't include the cone. And they purposely put the Haagen-Dazs by the door where you're sweating like a Tijuana whore all day coming in. So when you come in, you're like, ugh, and your kids are like, ice cream, and like they know what they're doing. So let's talk about pizza. Now, when I went to New York, I was very excited. I don't like to fold my pizza like that. I don't like it. My dad, he's a weirdo. He cuts his pizza with a fork and a knife. I don't like that. But I don't like to fold my pizza. And that's just a New York thing. And I asked New Yorkers, all right, what makes New York pizza so special? Every New Yorker told me it's the water. It's the water and the crust. It's a very big style, like huge slice, and a lot of people fold it up. So it was cute that somebody asked me, like, so what's the deal with St. Louis style pizza? Because I sell pizza all day and people are very passionate about it. Now, I will shout out to Chicago. I love Chicago pizza. It's fucking amazing. What they do is they reverse it, right? Like, they put your sauce and your toppings on top and, like, your cheese underneath. And they have very thick crust. And if it's made right, and that's the same with any state, if the pizza's made right. Like, you can't have people just fronting, like, saying they're making, you know, St. Louis style pizza or Chicago style pizza. And like, if they really do it like the state does it, they do it right. You know. It's going to take you 2 hours to get a Chicago style pizza. Is it worth it? Abso-freaking-lutely. But it's just a different vibe. Now, people say, Mandy, what makes a St. Louis style pizza? I'll tell you what makes a St. Louis style pizza. St. Louis style pizza is a thin crust, like they call it cracker-like. I don't know, cracker-like. I mean, it's a thin crust, and we cut it in squares. We're the only state I know that cuts it in squares. I love that because we don't want to F with all that crust. We want toppings to the max, so it's like toppings all the way. Like, it's like an infinity pool of pizza. There is no bullshit crust like in New York style. Like we have toppings all the way to the edge, and I love the edges. I always eat the edges and the corners. The little triangle, like there's triangles like this big. I love it. It's really good, like if you're having parties and stuff too. Let me show you guys something. You see this mark right here? No, honey, this is not an age spot. And this is just the dangers. It's rough in the street in St. Louis. This is Cecil Whitaker's. Let me tell you, I'm gonna talk about Emo's because Emo's is the most famous St. Louis style pizza. They started it, but their competitor is Cecil Whitaker's, and I have to tell you, I love Cecil Whitaker's more. I was eating a piece of St. Louis style pizza and a piece of cheese, went out and went, this is a mark of St. Louis style pizza for life. Shout out to 314. All right. So it's a square, thin crust, cut pizza. All right. When I had a boyfriend lately, tunnel guy, I used to be like, you want it in triangles or squares? Like we would meet in the middle sometimes. We compromised. So it's that, and it's a processed cheese. So it's a mixture of cheddar, Swiss, and Provel. Provel was actually made like in St. Louis. So it's a processed cheese. Like what I mean, like it's a government cheese. Okay, we ghetto in St. Louis. Like, so you know how Velveeta, some things are just better with Velveeta, facts, even though it's a ghetto ass cheese. This is like a white Swiss version of ghetto ass cheese. But that being said, the melting point is super high. So if you try to pick that motherfucker up off the jump, it's gonna scar you for life. Literally, this is a cheese scar. Or it's just gonna fucking fall off your fucking pizza. But also, it's the best pizza you ever had in your life. You're not getting filled up because you're just eating like big fucking dough with like big bubbles in it and shit, like in New York. I'm sorry, New York. I'm not a fan of your pizza. I am gonna post a couple like links, dude. Like Barstool Pizza, I love that guy, dude. He's fucking famous. He tries pie all over the world. He's a fan of New York style pizza. What's funny is because like he goes everywhere, and all these hood ass people always get in his videos, and he handles it like a pro, and that's what's funny. So I'm gonna post his link, and I'll zhuzh it up a little bit, but so let's start back with Emos. I worked for Emos for 2 days. Emos was the original St. Louis style pizza. It's a landmark. It's a thing. Like, it's like a Jeep thing. Unless you got a Jeep, you don't get it. Like, whatever they say. So it was started by Ed and Margie Emo, and they decided they want to make pizza. Now, there's this neighborhood back home. It's a bunch of little neighborhoods in St. Louis. It's called The Hill. The Hill's infamous. So The Hill is an Italian. It's the most like Italian dominated city, I think, like in the United States, and it's in Missouri. They have these Italian bike races, and my buddy used to live like right on the loop where people would fall. Like, it was like a dangerous spot. And I remember we went out there like rolling one day, dude, and like watched the Italian bike races, just like where they fall. But okay, that being said, let's go back. So they are like Italian of Italian. They're old school. They are Catholic. Back in the day, because like St. Louis is gangster, the only way you could get into the Hill is if you knew the priest. And the priest would give permission. And this was up until just a couple of years ago. It's 2022. To say if they could move in. If the priest didn't okay you, you didn't move in. Now it's kind of outsourced, I guess you would say. You still can find the old school Italian places. All the Italians meet up. You have the Italian bike races. It's still the most Italian-based city in the United States, but it's not like it used to. It's not ran by the Catholic Church anymore. I mean, it is a little bit, but the politics were kind of like when the gangsters ran Vegas. Gangsters still run Vegas, but it's different. Okay, same thing with the Hill. So the priest would have to okay you to move into this neighborhood. It was hardcore Italian. So like this all started on the Hill. They bought a $75 oven, and they had to save up for over 3 months to get $1,500 to start a pizza place. Italians would always order pizza around 11:30 at night on Friday. Now that's extremely late for St. Louis, not for Vegas. Even in Vegas now, which is a shame because COVID like temporarily like put a fucking damper on Vegas because like not everything's 24 hours. That's the biggest complaint that I have because that's why I moved here, because I keep weird hours. I'm just a weirdo. But like all the tourists are like, we came here, everything's shut down. Back in the day, everything would be open. Every single business, 24 hours, Subway, like the store, Walmart, like the strip clubs. The clubs aren't even open at midnight in Vegas. Get it together, Vegas. Let's bring Vegas back. But anyway, and Vegas is not known for its pizza. Vegas just has everybody else's pizza. And so there's New York style, there's Chicago style, there's no St. Louis style. Let's bring St. Louis style. Dude, St. Louis style would take off. A lot of people don't know about St. Louis style. Like, you got to go about it to know about it. So anyway, people would order at 11:30 at night. And all these Catholics are like, wouldn't it be great if it just came to our house? So old Maggie and Ed decided from Emos, hey, we're going to deliver it. They were pioneers of the pizza business. You're welcome, pizza lovers. Y'all didn't know that, did you? Did you? Google it. So I worked for an Emos for 2 days. I hated it. Now, let me break this down. Since the pioneers have existed, they were franchising it out. Okay? So, like, whoever I was working for was super cheap. So, like, as you go down the line, you make it the pizza. You make it the pizza. And then there's, like, a metal stainless steel thing. These people would take a pitcher, like you would make Kool-Aid in, like a 2-quart pitcher. And they would literally take a squeegee, like a bum would clean your windshield with, but a clean squeegee. And they would squeegee the sauce back into the pizza after, like, people throwing it up to save on sauce. Okay, I like saving, but that's a little gross. Especially, like, what if you have somebody that's a meat lovers and you're, like, a vegetarian and, like, you'll never know. Like, really, even at all the pizza places, I'll tell you guys this. Everybody's like, do you have a gluten-free? Do you have a vegan? Let me tell you, bitches, like, if you go to a pizza place, nothing's going to be, like, really gluten-free or really vegan. Everything touches everything. The meat, everything. They use the same utensils. Pizza places are very fast paced, and it's just a thing. Even the good ones, even the good ones. So that's what St. Louis style pizza is. I worked there for 2 days. The first day, I was like, this is grossing me out. The second day, I just got high with the delivery guys all day. By the way, there is no delivery guy that doesn't smoke weed. There might be like 1 in 100. And that's before weed was even legal. Can I also just mention a side note? So you guys know I used to date this guy, Trash, that worked at this bar called the Dive Bar. When I moved here, I had no friends here. One of my buddies said, you know what? You need to go to a dive bar. So I Googled dive bar. The first day was a bust. I still do have a friend from there. Shout out to Joe. And Christy from the Blue Ox. But like, the second day, the place is called the Dive Bar, and I went there. Well, all in Vegas, this is all gangster area. Like, I live 4 miles from the Strip. I'm in the heart of the heart of the heart. So there, the Dive Bar used to be this bar called Characters, and everybody would go there. Like, literally, Frank Sinatra. And now it's like a total punk rock, like, CBGB bar. But when I went there, and most normal people wouldn't fan out about this, but I'm not normal people. So have you guys ever seen the movie Casino? Okay. There's this scene where Joe Pesci and Robert De Niro are talking to their mom, and the mom says to Joe Pesci, why don't you ever bring home a good girl? And he goes, Ma, I get a good girl every night. And she's like, And then they say, can I borrow this knife? That character was portraying Tony Spilantro, which was a gangster that he was country like me. They sent him straight out of fucking Chicago. He didn't know how to act, right? Like, y'all can't take us anywhere. And he asked about borrowing a knife. They hit a deer. No, he cut up a body and he put it in an oven and he cooked it. I ate pizza out of the oven Tony Spilantro, Joe Pesci from Casino, that scene, cooked it in with trash. It was a barbecue chicken pizza. That pizza was fucking delicious. And that was a whole scam too, because during COVID, you couldn't be open unless you served food. And this Mexican pizza place couldn't afford to stay open. So they literally put a Mexican in the closet making pizzas. If somebody from the bar wanted a pizza, they'd hit a doorbell. They didn't advertise it, right? They didn't advertise it. So like, you had to know. Like, I was like literally like there for a month dating a guy that worked there. Before I even realized what the doorbell was for, I was like, is that an emergency alarm? Like, no, it's if you want pizza. This little Mexican guy comes out and gives you what you want. He gives you what you want. And that was their way of staying open legally in Vegas. It's also a Mongol bar. So, people don't really fucks with it. It's different out here. And I don't fucks with them either. Like, shout out. And the pizza was delicious. How many people would get excited that they ate a pizza that was like a body was cooked in? Not many people, but like, I've always been obsessed with like gangster culture. Not to mention, I also banged a dude out here who was in The Sopranos. Side guy. But it's a slippery slope. So, dude, yeah, like, guess where that oven is right now? That oven now is in the Mob Museum. If you come to Vegas, check out the Mob Museum. I was one of the last people to ever eat a pizza out of that oven that Tony Cilantro cooked. Definitely check out St. Louis style pizza. And I must say, guys, if you are an entrepreneur or you're from St. Louis, come out here and open a St. Louis style pizza place. There's not one. There's one White Castle out here at Banks. I did a food review there. There's one Steak and Shake here. My buddy, my boss, opened a Steak and Shake. He's doing so well. Like, he's rich, bitch. Because that's like a St. Louis... Steak and Shake is like a St. Louis In-N-Out, okay? But like way better than like In-N-Out. In-N-Out's overrated. We don't have one St. Louis pizza place out here, guys. Think about it. Like, now this has me thinking, dude, maybe I should open a St. Louis style pizza place. Like, seriously, guys. But anyway, thanks for tuning in. I love you guys. That's the lesson on St. Louis style pizza. Bring it to Vegas. Bring it to Vegas because I miss it. I met a guy from the 314. You know what we said to each other? What high school did you go to? Because we're still that old. Like that's just how country we are right there. When you meet somebody from Missouri, you ask them what high school they went to. And he looked at me and he goes, emos. And I'm like, damn, you're an asshole. Because I haven't had St. Louis style pizza in 3 years. I miss it a little bit more than my family. Just a little bit. I would like to see them both, though. Thank you, guys. Deuces.